Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's October the 23rd. The animals are waking up. I know we've had some frost in some other areas, but up on top of the hill, this is the first good frost we've had, really noticeable here. Fall is here and winter is coming. Look how beautiful it is. Goodness. I still don't have a weather station in the house or a thermometer to tell me what the temperature is. The car says it's 31, which is probably pretty accurate this morning. And it's the time of year when you should start the vehicle just a tad bit sooner when you've got to be somewhere. And I've got to go pick up the Hey. Hey-Hey's going to spend the day with us today. And her mommy's going to say, "Are you running late?" I am maybe just a little bit running late. And it seems like the windshield washer fluid must be froze too. We're off to a start today. That looks interesting. Looks like we're going to have to find another way around that mess. I gotta show you this. I don't know if these guys are broke down or just blocking the road. Truck's running. Did they bottom out right there? Looks like. It's creating quite the traffic situation in good old Brewston. Wonder if they were there when the buses were through. Oh, here we go. That's going to get interesting. Now we got a load of cars. And that's not showing the cars that are trying to come out of town to go the other way. That's going to leave a mark. Oh, hey, I'll be here in a little bit. My devotional this morning talked about, a lot of people, a lot of churches have this legalistic view of tithing, and I don't personally hold to that. Personally hold the camera either very well. But so a lot of people, a lot of individuals, a lot of churches have this legalistic view of tithing, that you must tithe. You must tithe in order to be saved. That's kind of a problem for me. I am saved, so I want to give my money. In this particular scripture that they called out, talked about, it wasn't just money that was required. There are other, in our culture, money is the easy, well, even biblically, was the easy thing to recognize on how to fund the kingdom, how to fund good projects, things that needed to be done. We think of giving money, and that's right and proper. We should be giving to the church. We should be giving to those people around us. But if you look at the Old Testament, they were talking about crops. They were talking about land. Think about in Ezekiel 45:1, it talks about 25,000 cubits by 20,000 cubits. That piece of land was meant to be set aside for God, for the Lord's purposes. Now, we may not be required to do that. I don't think legalistically we're required. And the piece of ground where our church sits was much of that land was given to the church by people in the community 100 years ago, 80 years ago. People signed that land over to the church. So it's not that it doesn't happen, but I would think that would be very rare. So money, land, the big kicker, I think, is time. I think Americans, maybe everybody in the world. Wow, people are getting a little bit wacky here. Sorry, I know I was trying to do my devotional, but this is getting out of hand. The log truck stopped and then people went whizzing by. Got a little dangerous for a minute. What about time? I think time is probably the hardest thing to carve out. People scoff at time management. And when you try to manage your time, it seems like you can't get a grasp. But I'm trying to get a hold of my time, trying to manage my time, and I just can't seem to get that correct at all. The more you try to control it, the more out of control it seems. But you have, if you want to do it, if you want to be part of something, you will find the time to give it. I want to be part of God's kingdom. I want to set the time aside to learn. I don't remember the statistics, but it was talking about some high profile people, uh, you know, billionaires in the world, and how much time they spend reading. And it is a remarkable amount of time. I'm going to spare you the names, but it's high profile people, people that you would say, how do they have time to read? And they asked one of them, how do you how do you learn to do that? How do you know how to do that? He said, I read. And they read multiple books in a week, multiple hours in a day. I try to read one book a month. Um, and I was feeling pretty good about that till I read that article. I'm thinking maybe I'm not devoting enough time to my reading. But I think reading is still valuable. I can't I do a lot of digital reading and sermon prep, but I can't I just get more out of holding a book. So I'm still a book kind of guy. I'm still a book kind of guy, and I'm thinking about devoting time. Those people devote that time. They know it's important. It's important to me to devote the time to study the scriptures, to spend time in prayer, to spend time in church. That's not really, that is giving. That is giving God part of your day. But are we doing anything more than that? Are we giving to our neighbor? Are we giving to our brothers and sisters? Are we giving to the shelter down the road? How are we serving Him in a way that is bringing Him glory and bringing more people to bend their knee to Him? There's just so much activity here this morning. Got cars backed up again. So I apologize for that disjointed discussion. Maybe I'll be able to pick up on it later today, but thinking about giving time, thinking about giving in general. What am I willing to give? What part of me am I willing to give in service to God? If He called me to give a piece of land, He calls me to give more time, I'll ponder that through the day. Good morning, hey. Good morning. You ready to go get some gas and then go back to Pappy's house? We can play in the walker, go back to Pappy's house and wait for it to warm up. We can go meet the new cows. Good morning, hey. We'll see them teefers. There you just got a glimpse of them. Okay, let's go. Missy said the sun has wakened up the blackbirds. There's all kind of starlings and redwings and grackles up in there. Some mourning doves. Hopefully the sound will come across. They are out there. Also, there's Porchy. We found Porchy this morning. She found me. Good morning, Porchy. Were you cold? Porchy? Did you go to the barn in the hay? Good morning, Porchy. Where'd Missy go? Missy playing with hey. It's nicer out here, hey. It was too hot inside. Did the sun get you? Let's go check some stuff out. We got a new bull to check out, new heifer. The pigs are in a different spot. We got some chickens that need moved, some egg layers. Let's do it.
Heidi, what do you think? Do you hear the turkeys? Look at the turkeys. They're all fluffed out. They're growing leaps and bounds. Getting ready for Thanksgiving.
He ran Pappy for a minute. He said, I don't think so, bud. You see that? Pappy's sweating now. We got him. We gotta name this fella too. Looks like he still got feed. Turks.
You see the turkeys eating? They still have food. I shouldn't be hungry.
You're gonna have some of this for Thanksgiving. They should be bigger. They'll be big enough probably by Thanksgiving. Another month.
There's our pigs that decided to become pasture pigs. Lucy loves to herd the pigs. Lucy. You ever seen a dog herd pigs?
Oh, Lulu will.
Luce!
Come on, Lou, get out.
She knows the fence is there too.
Well, hey, the old pigs didn't they didn't like it in their building no more, so they broke out and they roamed around the farm, and Aunt Mama put some fence around so they could get a little taste of the juice. You can see what they've been. I really wanted to get them in this field. I wanted to get them out here to stir this ground up a little bit, but you can see what they've done. They're rooting after stuff. So I'll have to come back in here and fix it back up when I move them on to something else. It'll definitely need reseeded now. They're working it over in less than a day's time. Is that right? Is that right? Them piggies and them cows rooting in that dirt and stuff. They're all over the place. We got to get them cows moved. We got to get them cows moved. You feel me? I know. There goes a woodpecker. There goes a woodpecker down through there. Cows got to get moved too. We got to get them cows moved. Them pigs is doing a number already. Mercy. Is there any acorns out here? They're flipping them cow patties over. Yes, they are. Look there. Getting after worms and stuff under them cow patties. Make sure they don't get under the fence. Looks like they was working on it right there a little bit. So we're gonna have to get another strand of fence on that side. Miss Maddie was in kind of a hurry, right? Because we was visiting Grandma Ruby. We was out visiting Grandma Ruby, and old Aunt Maddie was with us, and she got called away because the pig was out. So she had to come back and gather them up real quick and put a temporary fence up, and it held for so far. But if we leave them in here too long, they're going to be gone because they're already pushing under. Oh, look there. You can really see where they've been pushing under. Right up under the fence. Here they come. You're thirsty, aren't you? I'm going to get your water.
You cleaning the bull waterer? Huh? Are you cleaning the bull water, Heidi?
We'll take it in there and put it in the corner for him. We overstay our welcome on the chores. Hey. We overstay our welcome on the chores. Where's Grandma?
Right here.
Grandma trying to hide from me. Well, we got a few chores done. Took way too late in the day to do them, but we got something done anyway. And Hay's had enough. She's ready to go inside. And the shade's starting to cause a little bit of coolness.
It's nice though.
She's probably not cold.
She's very warm.
Grandma's cold.
I'm chilled. Heidi's still warm.
So I started this day today thinking about, how a lot of churches and a lot of individuals hold tithing as, they really hold that from a legalistic viewpoint. Giving of money and giving of tithes, and they make it a law, right? Like a law within the church, a law within the congregation, a law within the person to give the tithe. So then it takes on the wrong heart about the subject. Well, if you follow the law, what the law actually, back to Ezekiel 45:1, I think is where I was this morning, talked about even a portion of the land was supposed to be cut off for God's use. So if you think about that in modern terms, it'd be easy for someone to consider giving money in a plate.
Right.
But if you told someone they had to carve a piece of their land off, I mean, our church was fortunate that
We had a family that did.
there were families that gave land, and I'm sure there are other churches too. Ours isn't the only one that's happened for, but I just thought it was interesting, that devotional that I read in that scripture. You think about what you're supposed to give, what you're supposed to sacrifice. I think, even though we talk about greed, I think in our culture, people could give money easily.
Right.
But like the rich young ruler, you start asking them to give up their possessions. If you had to give up a chunk of your land, or if you had to give up your car, and then you boil it down to time, and I think time's really hard to, as much as we try to manage our time. I was talking about it this morning, and I was a terrible waste of time today. So yeah, I've got these lists. I try to plan out what I'm going to do. And if you're not disciplined to doing it, if you don't get up and put it into motion, nothing's going to happen. And you're not giving your time, to give your time to the church, to give your time to the individuals, to give your time to your neighbors or some cause. You get really greedy then.
Right.
I'd much rather do this thing than that thing.
I'd much rather sit on the couch and watch a show than.
So that's how it started. It's talking about time, space, money. You think about the things that you might be required to give. I'm not going to say it's easy to give money, but it's probably the easiest of the three to give.
Right.
Well, for a lot of people, especially. Oh, if I got to put $100 on a plate, that's fine. I can do that. Don't ask me to give up my Sunday morning.
Right.
And there's no way I'm giving up my 2 acres out of my 100 acres of land.
Could you imagine if we did Sunday evenings? Whew.
Well, yeah, if you back in the day when you had church 3 times a week, 3 or 4 times a week, you can't get that out of nobody now. Anyway, just an interesting thing to think about, what our responsibilities are in giving of ourselves, giving of our pocketbooks, giving of our resources, giving of our time. Should be a conviction. I think it was yesterday during the sermon, someone said, be the change, be the change. If you're unhappy with how something is, you have to fix it. You have to be the part of the fix. Miss about forgot her eggs. 6 little eggs. 6 or 7?
6.
6 little eggs. We gotta get them other chickens moved up here.
Yeah. And how many's down there in the?
Yeah, there's more eggs down there, I'm sure. Anyway, glorious October day. Gonna be warmer tomorrow. Doubt if these house sparrows are coming across. Now listen, this is why I leave weeds grow. See what habitat that is for birds? That's why all these little weed patches are all over the place, because my birdies love it. But I probably just need to designate a couple of areas.
Right.
And not all 6 acres to my weed patch. That's what I'll name this place, the weed patch.
The weed patch.
Just the weed patch.
The broken fence post.
Broken fence post, the weed patch. I gave somebody an idea. Anyway, see that sun starting to think about setting behind me here in an hour or so. Great day. Thanks for coming to do chores with me. Hey. And Grandma, where's Grandma? She's
right
hiding again.
I'm right here.
She's hiding. She's always hiding. Love y'all. Have a good day.